Her mother-in-law forced the black woman to sign divorce documents. Then she uncovered her father's hidden fortune. The relentless ticking of the antique grandfather clock echoed through the oppressive quiet of the Harrington Estates library. Its golden pendulum swayed rhythmically, a stark reminder that time was slipping away for Elise Jackson. She sat at the imposing mahogany table, her unsteady fingers brushing the edges of the creamy divorce papers before her, her chest constricting as she fought back tears, her vision hazy. "Sign it." The command was icy, cutting like a blade. Opposite her sat Evelyn Harrington, the formidable matriarch of the elite Harrington dynasty. Her impeccably styled silver hair and pristine black gown exuded an aura of unassailable power. Pearls shimmered at her neck, but her face held no warmth, only contempt. "You've disgraced this family long enough," Evelyn declared, her tone steady yet laced with venom. "It's time you depart quietly, with whatever pride you have left." Elise's pulse thundered so loudly it nearly drowned out the room. 2 years prior, she had been captivated by Nathan Harrington, the charismatic, driven heir to the Harrington empire. Back then, he'd been tender, affectionate, bold enough to defy his family's snobbery, or so she believed. When Nathan first introduced Elise, a black woman from humble roots, to the Harrington mansion, she felt the chill of Evelyn's forced smile. "A woman like you could never fit into our world," Evelyn had whispered to her that evening. Yet Elise persevered. She endured the murmurs at high society gatherings, the patronizing comments about her looks, her speech, her lack of refinement. Her love for Nathan kept her anchored, until this moment. "Nathan," Elise's voice broke as she turned to her husband, desperately seeking a trace of the man she'd vowed to love. He stood by the tall window, hands tucked into his pockets, his tailored suit flawless. But his expression was distant, his jaw rigid. "Don't stare at me like that, Elise," he snapped. "You've complicated this far more than necessary." Her breath hitched. "Complicated?" she whispered. "I sacrificed everything for you. My friends, my career, my family. I thought we were creating a future together." Nathan sneered. "A future? Or did you latch onto me thinking marriage would fix your life?" The word stung like a blow. Evelyn leaned closer, her voice low and biting. "You were never suitable for him, Elise. You don't belong in our world. Sign the papers, and we'll ensure you're paid enough to start anew, far from here." Elise's gaze dropped to the pen in her hand, her thoughts racing. "If I sign, I lose everything. The man I love, the life I envisioned. But if I don't?" She glanced at Nathan one last time. "Is this truly what you want?" His eyes turned cold. "You're not the woman I thought you were. Maybe Mother was right all along." Tears streamed down Elise's face, leaving dark marks on her ivory blouse. Her hands trembled as she gripped the pen. The room seemed to shrink, the walls pressing in. "They want to erase me, as if I never existed, as if I meant nothing." But a faint inner voice murmured, "You'll prove them wrong someday." With a shaky breath, she scrawled her signature. Evelyn's lips curled into a faint, triumphant smile. "Good girl. Now, collect your belongings. Someone will show you out." Elise rose slowly, her legs unsteady. Her eyes lingered on Nathan, silently pleading for him to intervene, to say anything. But he turned away. That was her final glimpse of him as she left the Harrington estate, the man she loved gazing out the window, unmoved by her anguish. What they didn't know, as Elise stepped into the frigid night air, clutching her coat tightly, was that she had no idea how she'd survive. But what the Harringtons didn't know was that Elise's quiet resilience stemmed from more than her love for Nathan. She carried a legacy of strength, and soon she'd uncover a secret about her own family, a secret that would shake the Harrington world to its core. If you're captivated by this story so far, don't forget to subscribe and share in the comments where you're watching from. 2 years had passed since Elise left the Harrington estate, her coat wrapped tightly around her trembling frame, her signature still fresh on the divorce papers that shattered her life. 2 years since Evelyn Harrington smirked across a gleaming mahogany table, declaring her unworthy. 2 years since Nathan, the man she once believed cherished her, turned his back, his cold detachment cutting deeper than any words. But the woman approaching the estate's gates today was not the same Elise. This Elise didn't falter. She didn't lower her gaze. She didn't beg for love or approval. This Elise had forged a new path, and she wasn't here to plead. The Harrington family had fallen on hard times. Their investments had collapsed under a string of poor decisions. The once revered Harrington name, a symbol of wealth and influence, was now a cautionary tale in corporate circles. Nathan sat at the head of the boardroom table, his suit pristine but his eyes weary. Evelyn sat beside him, her pearls as immaculate as ever, though her grip on her teacup betrayed her tension. "We need this deal," Evelyn said, her voice edged with desperation. "If Jackson Enterprises doesn't agree to this partnership, the Harrington legacy is done." Nathan exhaled heavily. "They'll come. They have no choice." The double doors swung open. A hush fell over the room as a woman entered, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor. It was Elise, but not the Elise they knew. Gone was the trembling, tearful woman in a creased blouse. This Elise wore a tailored ivory suit that fit like a second skin. Her natural hair was styled in an elegant chignon, and diamond earrings sparkled at her ears. She moved with the poised confidence of someone who commanded every space she entered. Behind her walked a tall man with silver hair and an aura that seemed to shift the room's atmosphere. His custom suit spoke of immense wealth in every detail. Evelyn's eyes widened. "Charles Jackson." The man offered a polite but distant nod. "Good afternoon, Mrs. Harrington." Nathan's face drained of color. "You're her father?" "Indeed," Charles replied calmly. "I'm Elise's father. I thought it was time we spoke." Evelyn's tone sharpened. "Why didn't you reveal your identity sooner? Why let your daughter marry into our family without disclosing who you were?" Elise stepped forward, her voice steady. "Because I wanted to be loved for myself, not my family's wealth. But instead of embracing me, you judged me, ridiculed me, cast me out." Her gaze fixed on Nathan, who couldn't meet her eyes. "And you," she said softly, her voice quivering, not with fragility, but with controlled anger. "You stood there and let them degrade me. You thought I was nothing without you. But the truth is, you were nothing without me." Nathan flinched. Charles placed a folder on the table. "I'm purchasing your company's debt. Effective immediately, Jackson Enterprises owns the controlling stake in Harrington Industries." Evelyn's jaw dropped. You can't." "Oh, I can," Charles countered smoothly. "And I will. But don't worry, we'll retain you as consultants." Elise tilted her head, her calm eyes sweeping over her former mother-in-law and ex-husband. "Think of it as my way of ensuring no one else endures what I did here." As the truth settled in, Nathan stood abruptly. "Elise, wait. I was wrong. I let my mother sway me. I never stopped loving you." Elise's lips curved into a faint, almost wistful smile. "Love doesn't stay silent when the world is tearing you apart, Nathan. Love doesn't watch you sink." His voice broke. "Please, give me another chance." Elise shook her head. "I gave you every chance, and you taught me that love alone isn't enough." Evelyn's voice was a bitter hiss. "You think you're above us because of your father's wealth?" Elise met her gaze with unwavering composure. "No, I'm above you because I learned to value people, their hearts, not their money or status. Something you'll never grasp." Elise turned to leave, her heels echoing like the end of an era. At the door, she paused and glanced back one last time. "Thank you," she said quietly. Nathan frowned. "For what?" "For showing me how strong I truly am." That evening, Elise sat on the balcony of her father's estate, the city skyline glittering below. Her phone buzzed with an email from Jackson Enterprises board. "Congratulations, Elise Jackson. As of today, you are officially CEO." She smiled, her tears now warm with pride. Elise had lost everything once, but she'd rebuilt herself, not as a Harrington, not as someone's spouse, but as her own woman. And she'd never let anyone take that from her again. If this story moved you, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more compelling, emotional, and unexpected tales. Share in the comments where you're watching from. We love hearing your stories too. Until next time, stay kind, stay inspired, and keep watching.